Am I the asshole here for refusing to take down my post and letting my ex face the consequences of her cheating? I was with my ex Kay for 2 years and living together since a year. To make all the drama short, I found out she was having an affair since 6 months in with her boss. I found out about it and I broke up with her on the spot. Kay didn't even try to justify or deny and just moved out. But here comes the main thing of all this mess. Honestly, I wasn't expecting that she would bring up our breakup on Instagram, but she did with the classic bullshit of me holding her back, a bright future was waiting her, and all this type of stuff. But here comes my part. Because the one thing that made me mad as hell is one of her posts when she said that I was abusing her emotionally and physically. I have a special sore spot on this because I volunteer in one of those abused women's centers, and I provide housing for real victims of abuse. It's a long story about a female friend of mine who died because of her ex, and that thing particularly touched me, and it was the main reason why I'm volunteering. So you can imagine the rage and anger I felt when she posted about this fake bullshit. So I simply made a post on my Instagram page with the proof of her cheating and tagged her directly. Well, the part I wasn't expecting comes now, because to me, for no reason, it's like Instagram decided to make my post go viral in our community, and the internet rage started under her posts. I was expecting maybe someone calling her out and nothing more, but the consequences hit her harder than I could expect, because in just 2 weeks, her profile was full of people calling her every possible name in the book, people wishing her the worst stuff and all these things. But Kay being Kay, instead of doing what normal people would do, doubled down and got even more hate and worse stuff than I thought was possible. But the cherry on top was the fact that she is now on administrative leave because apparently her boss tried to throw her under the bus to save his job, and mostly because her jobs page became flooded with not-so-kind comments about her, from the classic fire her to stuff that I can't say here. And the most insane thing happened 3 days ago because her car has been smashed by someone. Not me, obviously, because I have better stuff to do than worrying about a cheating ex, and even her own family started to get harassed by people on their socials. And yesterday, she wrote me from a new number asking me to delete my post because she couldn't keep up anymore with the people insulting her on every post she makes, and the job thing was the last straw. Honestly, I wasn't expecting all this mess, and of course some people crossed a line with her car, her family, and her job. But you know what? I don't feel bad for her at all. I mean, she knew about my spot for abused women and tried to paint me as a villain by accusing me of stuff that she knew exactly how I feel about. So maybe it's because it's all still fresh, but I don't feel bad for her, and I have no intention to take down my post, which actually gained me 50,000 followers out of nowhere. So am I the asshole here for refusing to take down my post and letting her face the consequences of her cheating? In the comments, ask her to post a retraction and apology to you on her social media. She made false statements that would threaten your job and reputation, so until you get at least that, fuck her. She made her bed, and she can lie in it. Ditto. She needs to both apologize and retract the accusations of abuse, publicly. You don't owe her anything. If you want to be nice, then take it down, but not if she's just going to lie about you again. She can certainly just delete her social media and not deal with any of this anymore. That's probably the best idea for her now. If you want to work with her, I would say that you can take your post down since it's already done its job, but she needs to make a post admitting that she lied about you. If she's going to tarnish your reputation, she has to be the one to clear it before you take your post down. Yeah, nah, I'm with everyone else. You're not the asshole here. Not only did she cheat on you, but she tried to destroy your name with fake abuse accusations. In her shoes, that is one of the worst things that she could have done. And you didn't lie about her when you put up that post. You didn't post revenge material of any form. You posted the truth to defend yourself. It going viral was completely out of your control. That being said though, I don't think you should feel guilty or vindictive. The online hate, property damage and harassment towards her family are not on you, but if it is getting extreme, maybe you should clarify publicly that you don't condone that behavior. You cleared your name and that's all that matters here. Don't let her drag you down any further, and if she really wants this to go away, she'll do what the comments are saying, and she'll issue a public apology, retracting all the statements that she has made about you, slandering you before. Make it very clear that she can escape this harassment if she wants to, but it's going to take a lot of effort on her behalf that I don't think she's willing to do. And now, onto the update. So here's the update on how things ended, and I really hope to post again about more funny and better stuff than all this drama. In the last post, I talked about my ex texting me to delete the post and end all this charade, and at the end, we came to an agreement. The agreement is extremely simple. She makes a public post on her Instagram page in which she honestly tells the truth about how our relationship ended and takes full accountability for her false allegations, and then, and only then, I take my post down. 3 days ago, she agreed, and she did. Actually, under that post, she got more hate than before, but that's not my problem, and I did the same. Considering all this mess, I have to say that in the last 2 days after her apology post, like I call it, the situation has calmed down pretty naturally, but she still receives hate and death threats. On this part, I have to say that before deleting my post, I made it clear that insulting my ex and wishing her death wasn't normal, so to please stop this charade and respect her apologies. So until her profile passed from 2,000 comments to almost 500, and like I said, almost all of them not exactly kind, but the situation is going better, and I think because people got tired of this drama, they simply moved on to another one. In the last post, someone talked about a lawsuit for defamation, and you're absolutely right, but I just didn't have any intention nor energy for something that I just wanted to make disappear faster than I could. And for the last point, someone asked me if I resented her for all this mess, but actually I don't. What I feel for her is just pity and disappointment. The internet rage did the rest, even if I didn't approve obviously of the death threats and all the extreme parts. So that's it, and I really hope to not update you anymore on all this mess. In the comments, Just Dandy Candy says, "Sounds like she didn't have shame to begin with, so all's well that ends well." And OP says, "Exactly. I would have never imagined all this mess, but here we are, and all of this because of her victim complex, like I told her." Wait, you actually told her that? As in actually used the words victim complex? Holy shit, now I gotta know what her answer was to hearing/reading that. Also, good for you for making her take accountability. OP replies, her words were, "There's no need to be cruel." Like, seriously? Does anyone else think that the ex-girlfriend is a huge moron? Because she could have just stayed quiet and avoided all of this. She went and tried to defame an ex-boyfriend for no reason, really. OP says, "You got my point. I still don't get why all of this since we broke up and everyone goes away, but she had to go make all of this public and be the victim for some reason. Sounds like she's all about image and social media." OP says, "It appears so, and now she has to face what the internet thinks of her." This is a solid resolution to this story, OP. That was mature, fair, and a very measured response. You held her accountable without stooping to revenge or unnecessary cruelty, piling on like everyone else has been. That public apology was the right move, clearing your name and forcing her to take responsibility for the damage that she caused. And good on you as well for addressing the hate and telling people to stop. I think that definitely played a part in stopping it from spiraling further. Hopefully she's learned her lesson from here on out and won't go pulling bullshit like this again in the future, but you say that she has a victim complex, she makes everything about her, she only really cares about her image online, yada yada yada. We can always hope that she will learn from this, but there's a good chance she doesn't, and I wish her the best of luck when she makes another mistake like this. Our next post is from the Legal Advice subreddit, and it's titled, "I got summoned for injuring my neighbor's kid who has hurt herself on my property. I was served with a paper to be summoned in small claims court, and I'm being sued by my neighbor for $10,000 in damages. Long story short, my neighbor's kids, around 6 years old, were playing on my front yard without my knowledge or consent, and one of them climbed onto my water fountain. I heard a loud crash, and I found out that my fountain was destroyed, and it toppled over on top of the child. I had to call 911 since the kid was bleeding badly. Now, here we are, as I just got served with papers to show up at court. My neighbor is making up excuses saying that I failed to secure my fountain and that it was a tragic accident waiting to happen. They are suing me for damages and medical bills for their child. What should I do to prepare myself? Is there any counter-argument to that, especially since it was private property and the kid should never have been climbing on my fountain in the first place? In the comments, Null Password says, I think they would have to prove that it was an attractive nuisance, which I guess means if your fountain looked like a water slide, you might be in trouble, but otherwise. Second, homeowners insurance. OP replies, nope, it was something similar to this. I also had a recording of a video that shows the front door of my house. The kid was playing on top of my fountain for 3 minutes with no sight of the adults until it toppled over. Parents were nearby but were not paying attention to the kids. Maybe this video would help me claim that the adult should have enough time and warning to tell their kids not to climb on top of the fountain. Have you had the fountain for a while, or is it new? Have the kids climbed on it before? If it's been there for a long time and they've never climbed on it before, it seems like it would be tough for the parents to prove the attractive nuisance angle. And OP says, the fountain has been there for a while. At least 5 years. I've secured the top piece of the fountain and the second level with Gorilla Glue to ensure that wind won't just blow it over, but never would I imagine that a kid would climb on top of it. Plus, the fountain was surrounded by rocks and flowers, and they have to walk over those things before being able to touch the fountain. Honestly, I think you're going to be fine, OP. That's my professional legal opinion, and I think you have nothing to feel guilty about. Those kids were trespassing, their parents weren't watching when they obviously were in the area, and your fountain isn't some stupid, dangerous setup. It's a normal, decorative part of your private property. I reckon that video that you've got of them is going to be perfect to use against them in court. And let's just hope that the judge sees this for what it is, neglectful parenting, not you maliciously setting up some kind of trap for those kids. So, good luck, I say. And now, on to the update. Long story short, my neighbor sued me for $10,000 in damages. I also countersued and wanted my neighbor to reimburse me for any court paperwork that I had to do, the fountain he broke, and the time that I wasted. The judge concluded that I was not responsible for injuring my neighbor's kid and that the fountain was properly secured to the best of my ability. I also showed him the video of the kid playing on the fountain before it fell. Judge told the parents that ultimately it was their responsibility to look after their kid, especially when the video showed over 3 minutes of the kid playing on top of the fountain before the collapse. They knew that their kids were out playing in the fountain and they did not tell them to stop. The judge rewarded my request for the damage to my fountain. Now my neighbors are hating on me. Just weeks ago, my house was egged on Halloween, away from the view of the camera, and I was the only house that was egged. Very suspicious that I would be the one house that was egged and know the position of the camera unless it had been shown to them, like in court. Are there any other ways to protect myself? In the comments, Training Constant says, parents thought that they had an opportunity to make some quick cash, but sucks for them. We live in the era of CCTV. I was thinking the same thing. They're pissed because they assumed this was going to be a quick 10K payday, but OP put a damper on that. Yep, seems like it all sorted itself out pretty well. I guess they just didn't realize that a camera existed in the area, but at the same time, most people have cameras on their house. Are you really going to take that gamble, thinking that OP is not going to be protecting themselves in any which way? Like, genuinely, I don't understand the thought process of parents like that. They're like, well, we're obviously at fault, but hey, this is an insurance claim waiting to happen. I'm getting a payday in the small claims court. Let's just hope that they don't have cameras and then it'll be free money. Goddamn tossers. Our next post is by user Hard Day, and it's titled, We, 16 and 17 male, threw a party while our parents and sisters, 44 female, 46 male, and 10 female, are with our brother, 8 male. Our brother's signed John Cena poster is wrecked. Our youngest brother has neck and back issues from an accident a while back. He was having back issues again, and we're not sure what was wrong, but the doctors needed to keep him for a couple of days. They came to the conclusion that he needed one more surgery, and so he had to undergo surgery. He's not dying, he just has a really sore back. He can walk, but he cannot play sport at all. My parents are staying in a hotel near the hospital with our sister. My brother and I decided to throw a party. Our house is suited for a party. Our parents are very successful people, and our friends are always asking us to host a party. We hosted a party, and it was a really good time. This morning we were cleaning up, and our brother's signed John Cena poster is completely destroyed. His and our sister's rooms are complete wrecks. We think our friends did some sort of drugs in there. Our brother's poster, though, was signed personally by John Cena with a special message. My parents took my brother to meet John Cena at an autograph signing. As the story goes, Cena spent some time with my brother and wrote a special message never to give up and other things. My brother and I don't know what to do. In the comments, Liquid McCartney 8 says, "Yeah, you're in deep shit, and it isn't possible to cover it up at this point. The only possible way to make it right would be for you to promise to take your brother to another John Cena thing and get something else signed for him at your own expense. Heck, you might be able to reach out to Cena's people, explain the situation, attach a pic of the wrecked poster, and ask for some kind of care package thing from him in the meantime. It seems like doing stuff for sick kids is kind of his thing, so I wouldn't be surprised if you get a response." Well, the problem here is that the second signing wouldn't be for a sick kid. It's for this irresponsible teenager who screwed up. Requesting any time from Cena would be an abuse of his goodwill. Oof, yeah, no, I think that it would be an abuse of his goodwill. And I know it's kind of what you have to do in this situation, but at the same time, that would not be a morally good thing to get out of John Cena and his people. I know you guys don't want to admit that you threw a party when you weren't allowed to do one either, and that all the evidence bar the John Cena poster would be wiped away. But how the hell do you explain the John Cena poster? I don't know, so I'm keen to see what you do about this one. And now, on to the update, titled, "Our mother just hung up the phone when we told her about the party that we threw and our siblings' rooms. We don't know what to do. Brother is 8 and sister is 10. Hi, so we posted here earlier. Brother is in the hospital recovering from surgery. Our mum, dad and sister are all staying in a hotel for the time being close to the hospital. Our brother had surgery on his back. He can walk, he just has really bad back and neck issues from time to time. We threw a party and their rooms got wrecked. Our brother's John Cena poster was destroyed. We told our mum, and she was silent the entire time. Oh, you guys are fucked. She just put the phone down on us. She's not called us back in 2 hours, and we're not sure what to do." In the comments, Babbitt B says, "Your mum is, very naturally, angry and disappointed. You didn't just throw a party that you knew you weren't allowed to. You did it when you knew your parents had something much, much more important to worry about. Surgery is never without risks, and spinal surgery still less so, so you passing it off as, 'Oh, he can walk,' is awful, and you selfishly added to their burden. You need to make sure the house is absolutely spotless. You need to cost out any repairs that need to be made and start planning how you're going to pay for them. That includes replacing your brother's poster. Going forward, you badly need to reassess your priorities. You also need to realize that you're still kids, and in some cases, yes, your parents do know better than you. There's a reason that parents don't allow their teenage children to throw unsupervised parties, and it's because they're not mature enough to make sure everyone behaves responsibly and the house doesn't get trashed. Thank your lucky stars nobody was hurt." OP says, "The problem is, that poster is not replaceable. It was signed by Cena himself with a special never give up message. My brother went to WrestleMania this year. He got the poster signed by a lot of wrestlers. Sasha Banks, Cena, Orton, Revival, Bayley, Charlotte, etc. Oh, you guys are completely fucked. I believe a term from r/legal advice might be appropriate here. OP is mega fucked. Damn, if my brother and I did that to our parents, we'd go missing and the bodies would never be found. I wonder what happened when the parents got home. I just want to crawl deep into a closet reading this. You know that they were in serious trouble when the mum didn't even speak and just set the phone down. And that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the stories. If you did, let me know what you thought of them in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!